Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, hey, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Now, before we get to our top stories, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. And Zach, we have some rain moving through the area today.
Yeah, active day, active pattern for us. We had some scattered showers yesterday. We're going to see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through 5 countries today. 50% chance of hit or miss showers and thunderstorms across the area through your morning into the afternoon. Lingering activity that's still around late afternoon, early evening should start to decrease. The atmosphere likely going to go into recovery mode, and then we'll look to the northwest and the west once again going into Friday. We'll have likely another complex of storms making a run for 5 country, and then we're going to stay in this northwest flow where we'll have that chance to see showers and thunderstorms out to the west northwest moving our way Saturday and Sunday again. Highs overall with the added cloud cover and the scattered shower activity in the area should mostly be in the 80s to some low 90s. Again, depending on how much rain we see off towards the south. Latest model here drying us out a little bit more to the south, allowing for a little bit more heat to build in. I think that'll be possible further south you go towards the Ouachitas, but we're already seeing showers and thunderstorms to start the day in this area. So I think the models are just really been struggling with this pattern that we're in here. Nonetheless, good chance for scattered showers from northwest Arkansas, River Valley, Ouachitas. It's going to be muggy no matter where you are. I think we again see more 80s to the north, a little bit more 80s to some low 90s mixed in off across the south. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, again, the chances there from the morning into and through the afternoon. Late afternoon, evening, we should start to wind down with the activity. Can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm today, Joe. Again, top threats would be some gusty winds, maybe a pocket of some small hail up to the size of quarters, half dollars or so. And then again, we'll keep that rain chance around as we go through the weekend.
All right. Thanks so much, Zach. Well, former Arkansas Razorback quarterback Ryan Mallett will be laid to rest today. He died after drowning in the Gulf of Mexico at the age of 35. Funeral services will be held at Central United Methodist Church in Fayetteville. In 2 seasons at Arkansas, Mallett broke 16 school records and left a lasting impact on his teammates. After his playing days were behind him and in college and the NFL, he continued in a career of football as a high school coach at Mountain Home and Whitehall. One of his former teammates says Mallett knew his purpose and pursued it to the fullest.
It's about the love of the kids. It's about having a heart for what you do and being passionate about what you do and living in your purpose.
Again, funeral services will begin at 2 this afternoon at Central United Methodist Church on Dixon Street. The funeral is open to the public and will also be live streamed. Well, Pocola public school employees have been named in a new lawsuit. A child's father is saying the school failed to correctly report the student's claims of being sexually abused at home. According to the lawsuit, this all started back in 2021 when the student reported sexual abuse at the home in which she was living at the time. It goes on to say the child was allegedly sent home and reported more abuse the following day to officials at her school. Court documents claim the teacher who was notified of the abuse told the principal, who then consulted with the school counselor. That counselor told the school to contact the state DHS hotline and the local police department. However, the lawsuit says that when Superintendent Jason Britton was contacted, he told his employees that they only needed to report the incident to the hotline. Also, according to this lawsuit, no one contacted the Pocola Police Department. The child identified the abuser in this, which is another defendant in the lawsuit. He is currently serving time in prison as of the filing of the lawsuit. And in Benton County, a preschool is facing litigation after a child was allegedly inappropriately touched. A Cave Springs father filed the lawsuit on behalf of his child, a student at Wild About Learning Academy. The complaint claims his daughter was inappropriately touched by 3 of her classmates over a long period of time. The lawsuit claims a teacher or staff member was not properly managing or supervising the classroom. In emails attached to this complaint, owners of the preschool say that the Arkansas Department of Human Services Division of Child Care and Early Childhood Education did an investigation, and a complaint against the school was unfounded. In other news, the Johnson County Sheriff Jimmy Stevens now has a new trial date in his drug and gun charges criminal case. The case stems from a traffic stop. Stevens was arrested with drugs and guns inside of his car and told investigators he was visiting a confidential informant. But according to an arrest affidavit from state police, the FBI asked them to pull over Stevens as part of a corruption and narcotics investigation. Stevens entered an innocent plea. His new trial date is now set for November 9th. Well, today the Fayetteville City Council is set to talk about reducing crashes and making travel a bit safer. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer is digging into the Vision Zero Purpose Plan.
Each year in Northwest Arkansas, we lose 44 people who die in a crash.
Tim Coughlin, executive director of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning Commission, and his team worked with a consultant for 6 months on this plan to improve the region's transportation system.
They adopted a goal of reducing fatal and serious injury crashes to zero over the next 15 years.
The plan was offered to 31 cities in Washington and Benton County. 4 of the largest cities in Northwest Arkansas will be taking the next steps, including Fayetteville.
The cities are taking this plan to the city councils along with a request to apply for grants to actually implement the plan over the next 10, 15 years.
Conklin says they developed the plan by looking at the roads that had the highest numbers of injury crashes.
And then looking at what proven safety countermeasures could be implemented in Northwest Arkansas.
Some recommendations include roundabouts and, in some locations, lowering the speed limit.
If we don't start changing how we plan our transportation system and build it out and implement proven safety countermeasures, nothing will change, and we'll still have people in fatal and serious injury crashes.
Matt Mihalovich is the active transportation manager for the city of Fayetteville. He says the department would like to implement this specifically for the safety of pedestrians and bikers.
Building a trail along a road is a good example of how we can put those bikes and pedestrians out of the roadway and provide them on a separate facility.
If it gets passed on Tuesday, Fayetteville will start applying for grants.
It's called the Safe Streets for All program, and we're eligible for $25 million in funding for these 5 projects.
With changes to infrastructure, Conklin emphasizes this plan is for the safety of the community.
Well, how many fatalities and serious injuries are acceptable in your family, your relatives, your coworker? And most people, when they bring it back home, it's zero.
In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Well, those are some of your top stories on this Thursday. Thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. Catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more.